Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle InSpiral from CZT Tomas Padros. I was going to title it, Let's Watch Heather Get Out of Her Comfort Zone. Tangle. Yeah, so it's always a good thing to do every so often. Get out of your comfort zone, and that's what I'm going to do today. All right, this one starts off now with kind of a three-pronged amoeba type of thing. On my step out, I separated it. Let me show you what I did. And if you can do this all in one thing, great. If not, I did separate it out in case you can't. All right. Or, you just want a different way to do it. All right. So what I did was I put a curve line, curve line, curve line like that, kind of in a triangle is what I decided to do. And then curve line going the other way, meeting up, the 2 points, like so. This is one of those things, even with this, it's like, I'm not going to get it perfect, but, I personally needed to have this kind of a help for a start. If you do great, if you can draw it all in one thing, like we're gonna do, we're gonna aura it. So if you can do this, great. So the second step is we're going to aura this, and auraing, taking into account the contours. This one is nice because it's very whimsical, and so very forgiving. And if you take a look at the For More Inspiration link, which is the Tangle Patterns, which is where I found this, and do read. Besides, like, I like to just look at the pictures. This time I read because I'm like, I need to get into Thomas's brain, and he always writes such nice descriptions, and is very, I don't know what the right word is. Conscientious is the best word in my head right now on explaining things. Here's what you can do. Oh, here's what else you can do. Here's a thought here. I love that he does that. So do take a read and a look. And I put it there to, it's for more inspiration because that's why I put it there. All right. So after these 2 steps, this is where it gets fun. And if you have done the Tangle Diva Dance Rock and Roll, if you haven't, I know I have a video on it. Take a peek at that one. It's similar to that, except we're doing spirals instead of putting little bumps. Because one of the things that I noticed as I was trying to make sense, and Thomas, if you watch this, forgive me, I had trouble making sense a little bit. Just for mine, for my brain, on the next step. So reading helped, and I really, really appreciate those the descriptions and everything that Thomas puts in there. So the first step after this is easy. So pick a space to start. Let's do here where it's a little wider. So we're going to do a spiral, and like so, and we're coming off. Actually, it doesn't matter whichever way you end up starting. We're going to go in, whatever direction you end up. I keep wanting to do it the other way, but if I did, then I would just go this way instead. That's what I mean to say. Depending on which way you start your spiral, will determine which direction you go. So there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. This makes sure of it. Okay, so we're just going to go over one of these bumps of the aura. And so spiral on the one side, spiral on the other. I do like how Thomas says in his writing is that this makes him think of, the of the wigs that they would use in, I don't know when they started. I think 1600s, 1700s. That they would wear the long with the curls and things, and it does kind of look like that. All right, so then after this is where it can get interesting, and again, thank you, Thomas, for putting in there. You can, you can do these kind of however you want. So what I noticed in the first one, in the first step, which this would be a good help to get started, is he kind of went, back to here. There's nothing here, so let's start a spiral right there, and then we're auraing around and I like to aura around all of the contours. I think I need to come in a little bit more on some of these. And I have to go back and look because there was something that Thomas wrote, but because I was focusing on something else, I missed it until now. I'm thinking about it. Something about getting narrower, where normally an aura we're shooting to have the same distance all the way around, but this one you're kind of coming in and changing that distance. So I'm going to go back and look at that as well. Do take a look. So this one, so let's see, we started here. I'm going all the way around. I'm going to pass this one and then do the spiral right here. That's what he did on the first one, or the first one that goes all the way around. And that's what made me think of diva dance, because you put the bumps all the way around, then you aura, and then stop after the last one, and then put some more bumps in, and then aura some more, and then put some more bumps in, and then aura some more. And this could be similar to that. He also put in there, let's see, how did I decide I wanted to do this? I decided I kind of wanted to do something where I was backing up. Let's say here's where I ended. Well, let me back up, let's say one, and then I was deciding, well, which side do I want to go on? This time I'm going to go on this side. I was doing it on the opposite side, but let's do this. And I was thinking, just because, unfortunately the way my brain works, I want to have some order. And so I was thinking, well, gosh, you could do this, go all the way around, and because as the first one kind of went all the way around and then did the spiral like on the next indent. And you could do that here as well. But I also didn't want to get it into a weird pattern. So then I ended up thinking, well, I'm just going to do it where it seems to need it. And I'm going to stick with that thought. And thank you, Thomas, for putting that in your instructions, that you can, kind of do these wherever. And so let me back up here. And I apologize. I have to always think for a minute. It's like, which way am I doing this? So that way I end up going the direction I want to go. And then two, you can, because he said, well, you can kind of start and stop wherever you want. So I'm going to stop here. Because what then I decided was, well, I don't want it also to end up being elongated this way. So this is where it just becomes fun, and try not to think too much about it. Pretend that I have done it all for you and agonized over it, if that helps. And so then I'm just kind of starting where I feel like it needs to be, and then just continuing the aura, and then just end where it feels like it needs to end. So like here, I'm going to end it right here. And I think I will do this again. See, and I've got a whole cluster of them here, but you kind of have to start a little ways away. So I think I'm going to back up one. I'm thinking that might be a good rule of thumb. But what's neat about this, and what I appreciate about it, is the fact that there is literally no such thing as a mistake in this one. You get to do what you want to do and how you feel like doing it, and that is fun. I just personally struggle with these. That's why I joked about, well, this is, Heather's going to get out of her comfort zone. And it pays to do it. You don't have to, but if you want to, it is an interesting thing to kind of just stretch and grow and work towards not being afraid of it and just embracing. And um, also try to working to have overlaps too. So I don't want to like just always start here and then and end. So that's where I'm always working to overlap them as well. And and this is just my take. Take a look at the For More Inspiration link and take a look at the beautiful artwork also that he has created. He created some really neat lines that I'm like, oh, I want to figure out why aren't mine looking that way. I think I know why now. Maybe I know. I'm not sure. Let's see. And let's come over here because, and then you can just keep going however you want, for however big a space that you have and that you want to continue, or just when you feel like you're done, then you can be done, and it's okay. And I know, it's funny because I sort of joking because did I do since I'm doing a video every day, and and I have to just I have to be careful myself just because I want to have a nice variety of things and videos out here that I don't get stuck in a rut. And it seemed like for a little while, and I'm just going to go all the way around. You could also, as I interrupt myself, just to let you know, you can go around as many times as if you want to go around a full aura and then do another one. You are totally open to do that. This one feels like a nice stopping point there. But anyway, so I don't want to just do the tangles that I like. That's not good. I have to. It's fun to stretch because I might find one that I didn't know I liked until I do one. And you see how it is kind of it's stretching this way. So it's like, well, let's. How am I gonna get this? Well, maybe if I start one right here, that might help it. I don't know. But it's also fun to just let it take the shape that it's going to take. And it's one of those these kind of tangles are just full of life lessons, because so much of Zentangle is, and we do talk about that. Oh, and then I'm going to do one right here. But the ones like this where it's I don't have a grid to help me and to give me a nice foundation. You do have this as a foundation, so that's a bit of a help. Oh, and one thing I want to make sure to add, because Thomas put in his step out, he did put something about and I didn't include it in mine. So you can change. You don't have to always aura. Also, if you want to change this from being convex to concave, then when you're going through, well, let's see, you just change the direction of it. It's okay. It doesn't have to be an exact aura. Um, let's just see. Let's go right here. So say I want to change this bump here, just like that. I'm just changing the direction. So it is completely you do what you want to do, and it's good. And then you can have a lot more fun too with that. And like I said, and change it up. So really neat tangle. I hope you enjoyed it. And oh, let me show some shading. Oh, and an additional thought. If you up to you. Additional thought could be if you wanted to just do an aura around the finished product, that you could do, and just taking into account all of the new contours that you have, or you can just leave it like this as it is. But here's a thought on shading. Oh, and some of mine did turn out all right. It not all right isn't the right word. What I wanted to do some of what I saw in Thomas's work, and that is where you could take a nice, where I could add some shading and see right here. It's almost like I'm losing the word, and here, let me do some more. Oh, right here, like an optical illusion. I had op art in my head, and I'm like, and what does that stand for? Ooh, I'm gonna do this because I was thinking, oh, that would look cool. Let's shade that in or color it in. I can make it a little darker if I want. But let me just try this. So, and I'm gonna just bring this out a little bit. But what I was doing was where you see the pen line dipping, just putting the graphite there, and it accentuates what we have. Here it's a little bit really wiggly, and that's okay. But here, because we have that curve that's extending and going, all the way through those, that is just neat. So we can highlight that with the shading, and wow, isn't that neat? But then what do you do with all of this mess over here? Well, we do the same thing, but we don't have to do them in straight or semi-straight lines. And then just take a look at where you see a number of them and kind of map it out if you want. And don't make it straight, or just make it a little bit like that. And so this one is going into the neck, going into this one right here. And pick and choose what you might want to do. You don't do all of them, because then it might end up being just a little too gray. But and that's where I'm kind of like, oh, let's see. Well, I have these little dips right here, and I'm just bringing them all into the center. That looks neat. And I think, and actually thinking about this right now, this is almost a neat exercise in letting your tangle talk to you. Because it's like, well, where should I? Oh, I just don't know. Well, and that looks really neat. But you could also, so then you look at it, and this is one of those things where if you hold it out at an arm's length, or go take a look at it in a mirror. I said I'm looking at the screen, and it's funny because it always looks so much better on the screen, or sometimes in a photo, right? And if you've experienced that, oh, see, look at that, it looks neat. If you've experienced that, then take a picture of it, or or like I said, go in front of a mirror. I believe, yeah, my mom had said when she was in, she studied art at Purdue, that was one of the things, because they didn't have, they didn't walk around with cell phones, but it gives you a different perspective, and sometimes our eyeballs just need that. So, so like even right here, it just shows right here or right here. You don't have to go all the way in. Just if you want to accentuate a little something. And it's just nice when they're kind of going. Oh, here's a nice. That's interesting. And just follow the dips. That's probably the best way to think of it. Follow where it. You can do where it dips or where it peaks. Either way. But when they're going the same direction. For this one, it's probably easier where it dips, like right here. I'm just going to do that. Ha! That is so interesting. And now that I've done all of that, I feel like I need to come back on some of these like this, and let's just make it a little bit darker. And then you could have fun, maybe if you want to bring it in, because these two really large ones, you could bring in that graphite a little bit more if you want. Whoa! See, and then it becomes a moment of, who did that? That's amazing. When I was playing with this, I decided I wanted to see what it would look like on black. So I did similarly, and just decided to do it, like having, like it's like the negative type of thing. But yeah. So this also is a good one in the exercise of being patient, and just wait till it's all done and shaded. And if you maybe have to turn it over and don't look at it for 5 minutes, then try that too, because it just helps to give us a different perspective. When we're zooming in and we're focusing in on this, then it just, like I said, it changes our perspective. And sometimes it's good to just step away. Just like it's another life thing, right? How many times is it sometimes better to just step away and come back with a clearer head? For this, it's just a clearer set of eyes. But oh, I'm totally tickled. I was a little apprehensive because I was like, "Well, this will be interesting. I want to do this," and because I know that there are a lot out there that love these kind of free form type of tangles, and I need to make sure to that we do a lot of those. You know what? As I'm doing this, I was like, well, I need to bring some of the ones that are coming in. Need to make those a little bit darker. Sorry, as I'm looking at it. Sometimes you're just not yet quite yet done. There we go. Super neat. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, would love to have a thumbs up. And also feel free to put something in the comments. It's I find it fun to know that there are others like me that kind of struggle with some things. I don't you don't have to write in, oh, everybody's an artist. I don't feel like I am, because I feel like artists can just do these kind of things and they don't think about it, and it's just like, it's no big deal. But I know that that's also probably not true. Everybody has their thing. So I just like to be amazed at the fact that just follow the steps, try not to think too hard about it, just trust the process, and in the end it will more than likely look just fine. So feel free to share this with your friends that also like to to draw, to Zentangle. It's a really, really neat pattern. And if you liked it enough to see more, I'd love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. That, of course, is free. And let's see, in the description section, I mentioned the step outs. There'll be a link to mine, as well as the For More Inspiration link, which will connect you to Tangle Patterns, which is where this was where I found it. And below that, ways to connect with me if you would like to. If you enjoyed this and want to see more, maybe you want to come take an online class. I do classes every single week, and most of them are free. I have a once a week on Thursdays that is free. I do it 2 times on Thursdays. We do the same tangle both times because we have even more fun with it the second time. And some people come to both, or if you can only come to one, of course, that is great. Let's see. And then there is there's one on Tuesdays that I do that's free, and then I have a couple on Tuesdays that have a fee, and that helps keep the lights on, keep me in pens, and makes it possible for me to continue. And I appreciate all of those that take those classes occasionally, and I especially appreciate those that have signed up for my membership club, the Tangle Addicts Membership Club, which is basically a subscription where you get all access. And so take a look at that. I do have a special that I've been running for the last year, really, and that is going to be coming to an end at the time of this recording. It'll be the end of May 2022. So take a look. Come check us out for free. See if you have fun, and it's and where you'd want to do more. Would love to have you. We have a great time. All right, with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.